Hello, everybody. This is MoveEasy Yoga with Via. Today is June 12th, 2021. We have 137 videos posted on YouTube.
Wow.
I have someone told me the other day that they actually are doing my videos. They said they wanted to finish them before they came to class. No, you will never finish that. You can. It's mathematically impossible. But it was nice to know. She said sometimes the class is at a kind of funny time for her too. Okay, let's get started. Just lying on your back, watching your breath. Noticing where you are and why you're here. I love my body. My body loves me. Take two or three more breaths, and then we'll move on. And now vagus nerve reset. You can bring your hands behind your head. And without moving anything but your eyeballs, with your eyes open or closed, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for a yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center, shift your eyeballs to the left. And waiting for a yawn, sigh, swallow, or gulp. And go ahead and repeat this 2 more times, right and left, without my cueing. you're finished, we're going to start ribcage breath, ribcage breathing. But before we start the ribcage breathing, what I'd like you to do is massage the diaphragm at the point where it touches the bottom of the rib cage. So just take your fingers and make little claws and then press along the rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage. Just press and poke all the way up from the outside, all the way to the inside, to the bottom of the sternum. Unsticking the diaphragm. Sometimes it gets very stuck right in the spot, and we can affect that. And when you're finished, put your hands around the side of your body at the bottom of the rib cage with your thumb pointing down and your fingers up. You're going to breathe into that, into your hands. So take an inhale. The hands expand, and an exhale, and they come back. Everything knits itself back together. And keep going. We're going to do about 6 of these. So 5 more. Three. 4. 5. 6. Go ahead and get your sponge ball. We're going to do gliding on a sponge ball. So the sponge ball goes at the back of your head, at the occipital ridge, and then you're just going to press the back of your skull into the sponge ball. So the chin drops because you did that. And then you hold for a little bit, breathing all the while, and then releasing. And let's do 5 more of those. Head ramps. Creating traction in the cervical spine. Counteracting the things that happen when you use a computer and a cell phone. The forward head. Two more. And come on back. We're going to get onto your hands and knees for proning hypopressive. Remember, you may need to put a blanket or something under your knees. Stay on your knees with your hips above your knees and then drop onto your elbows. And put your head between the triangle that you've created with your hands and your elbows. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then exhale all the way out. Hold your breath out, no breath, while I count to 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And inhale. You can drop back into a little child's pose to rest for a minute or for a few seconds. We're going to come back. We're going to do this 2 more times. Come back up into your proning position. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Try to have your back as long as possible, a straight line between your head and your hips. Another breath. One more breath, recognizing you may have already had 3. And now no breath. Hold your breath out, no breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale and exhale. You can drop into a child's pose. So when you come up, I want you to, when you do come up into the position, the proning position, I want you to check your back and see if you can make it really, really straight. It may mean crawling your legs back a little so you give yourself more space for that long spine. Come up into the position. Crawl back, or crawl forward with your arms if you need to create more space for your spine. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more breath. Inhale, exhale all the way out. Empty your lungs. Now no breath. Holding your breath out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Inhale, exhale, drop into a child's pose and just rest. And whenever you're ready, whenever you're rested, I want you to find a chair, lie on your back and put your bent knees up on a chair or a couch or a box. And we're going to be here for 4 minutes. This is, if you have lower back issues, well, this also helps with other things, but if you have lower back issues, this is the place to start. Just releasing the hips, releasing the psoas in a passive way. This is actually called a static back. We could stay here for the remainder of the class and benefit, but we're not going to because we have other things to do. But just so you know, this might be the only thing you do when your back starts to bother you, and it might be the solution. If you'd like to, you can bring your arms up into cactus if it's available to you. Or a chest opener. Passive one. One more minute. Okay. Stop there. Stay where you are. We're going to do the 6 directions of movement of the pelvis. This can release, often releases the lower back, this kind of work. And the first one you're going to do is a pelvic tilt, anterior and posterior. Just think about, you can either think about your the top of the back of your pelvis going towards the floor, or you can think about at the same time your tailbone lifting towards the ceiling a little bit. That's one of the tilts. And then the other tilt is in the other direction. So the pelvis lifts off the floor and the tailbone curls down towards the floor. And you create a little more space in your back. Just let's do this 6 times. Just really slowly, so you can feel as the pelvis tilts forward and back. Number 3. Four. 5. And last one, 6. Come back to neutral. So the pelvis is neutral, not tilted in one direction, not tilted in the other. And now we're going to do the second direction is hip hikes. So you're going to put your thumb, starting on the right side, put your thumb on the top of the of your pelvis at the waist, and then pull the pelvis towards your armpit. It's a hip hike. We're going to do this slowly with awareness and breath. 5 more times. So number 2. Number 3. I'd like to put my thumb right on top of the pelvis so I can feel the movement. 4. 5. Last one, 6. And then go to the other side, put your thumb, your left thumb on your left top of the pelvis, the waist, and hike. 1. See how close to the armpit you can get it, and then drop it, and then come back. Number 3. 4. 5. Last one, number 6. Come back to a neutral position and put your right hand or fingers on your right ASIS. It's this bony landmark in front of your pelvis, and you're going to press on that and drop the pelvis, the right pelvis, to the floor. The left pelvis is the left side of the pelvis is going to lift up, and then this is called a rotation of the pelvis. And do it again. Drop it. You can press on it and drop it. The other side lifts. Number 3. The trick is not to do a hip hike while you're doing this rotation of the pelvis. 4. 5. And 6. Go to the other side. Put your fingers on the top of the ASIS, that bony landmark. Push it down, push the pelvis down, straight down to the floor. It's not a hip hike. Number 2, press. The other side lifts. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. Last one. One back. Come back to a neutral position. And I'm going to try to show you how to do this as a clock. It's called a pelvic clock. And you're literally going to, well, we're going to start with the right hip dropping to the floor. And then the belly button drops. And then the left hip drops. And then the pelvis drops. So you're making a circle with all of these movements. And keep going. Well, those 4 points. This is called a pelvic clock. Do 2 more circles. And then go ahead and reverse your direction. So this is circle number 1 in the other direction. Remember, you're doing those 4 points. Hip, pubic bone or tailbone, left side of the hip, and then the belly button. Number 2. Number 3. 4. 5. And then last one, 6. Go ahead and bring your knees, shove your chair or your box away, or bring yourself away from the couch. Put your feet on the floor, knees bent. And just rest for a minute and see if you can feel what happened when you gave your pelvis all this attention. You can bring your knees together and put your feet wide. This will release the sacrum. It'd be actually another very nice resting position when you're bent kneed. Just close your eyes and feel the pelvis. I don't know about you, but mine feels more alive. Now we're going to do some internal knee drops. You're going to start with your knees are bent, and then take your right knee and drop it towards the other knee, really, towards the floor. And then you're going to put your left foot on the top of the right knee that has dropped, and it'll drop even further. It's a big stretch across the side of the thigh, the upper leg. And just stay here and breathe and allow. The knee that's being pressed on may drop even further. And then slowly come back up, switch sides. The left knee drops in, the right foot on top of the left knee, and allowing and encouraging a further drop, a further stretch along the outside of the upper leg between the knee and the buttocks. This area is often very tight and is often involved in lower back tightness. So stay here and breathe. And then come on up. We're going to do it again, but we're going to add resistance. Drop your right knee to the inside. Put your left foot on that knee, and then you're going to go up and down in a small movement with resistance. So when you're going up, when the bottom knee is going up, the left foot is resisting. And then when the left foot is pushing down, the bottom knee is resisting. So you're always moving and always resisting. And try to go as far as you can. It's not a fight, it's a dance. Two more. And then whenever you're ready, just switch sides and start again. Drop your left knee in. Put your right foot on top of the left knee. Create a resistance movement. Always moving, always resisting. It could be a small movement. Hopefully you feel a stretch along the IT band. And finish up. And bring yourself up to a cross-legged, floor-seated position. We're going to do hip circles. This should feel pretty good after all the hip work we just did. So put your hands on your knees and then drop down over to the right, to your right, towards your right knee. And then come forward, the torso, the chest comes forward, keep your chest open. And then go across to the other side and come up to seated. Find your seated good posture and then go the other direction. So drop to the left. Remember, keep it long. It's like a flat back hip hinge. It's a moving flat back hip hinge, please. And now, so switch sides. We're going to do another set. Going to the right first. Flat back hip hinge. Come up to a seated position and then drop back. Left side, open chest, flat back to the right, and then come on up. Use your abdominals too. We'll do number 3 to the right. Open chest, flat back, circle. Come on up. Go to the left this time. Number 4, we're going to do 6 of these. Number 4 to the right. Open chest, flat back. Don't round your back. Come on up, keep your back flat and straight. Down to the left. Come on up. I think this is number 5. And then down to the left. And come up. And last set. Down to the right. Open chest, flat back. Come on up. And then down to the left. And come on up. Bring your, bend, keep your knees bent, bring your feet in front of you. We're going to do seated internal knee drops, similar to what we did before, except different. But so your legs can be apart, and then you're just going to drop one knee to the middle. Bring your legs, yeah, that way, just like that, Kathy. And then come on back. And then this is this has more of a flow to it than what we were doing before. So just drop one knee to the middle and drop the other knee to the middle. The opposite knee will just make space for the movement. So just flipping and flopping. And flipping from you're sitting back on your hands and on your buttocks with your hands behind you. That's what allows for this movement. And then you're just flipping. One leg goes in and the other out, and then opposite sides. And maybe you can get a rhythm going. Flip and flop. And flip. And flop. And flip. And flop. Let's do one more. Flip. And flop. Maybe I should call these flip-flops. Now we're going to do a side bend. Just find a comfortable seated position, and then remember that you're going to want to switch the cross of your legs periodically. Side bend, just dropping to the right, so the right arm comes out down, and the left or upper arm goes overhead. And stay here and breathe. One of the things that these side bends and spine twists do is open up the upper back. And often the upper back is involved in lower back issues. I think I said that before. The lower back takes over because the upper back is tight. When we can start to release the upper back, the lower back won't take on so many jobs. Go ahead and bring your elbow forward. Get a little different stretch. Bring your arm up first, elbow first, and then your torso. Come all the way up. Switch to the other side. The other arm sliding along the mat. Upper arm up and over. And just stay here. Enjoy the stretch. Now go ahead and drop your elbow forward. Bring your elbow up, bring your whole torso up. And now we'll do a spine twist. Switch your legs, switch the cross of your legs. Take your left hand and put it on your right knee. Take your right hand behind you, your arm and your hand, spider fingers. Find a spine twist. If you'd like to, add a rib cage slide. So without involving the upper trapezius, just slide the rib cage right to left, side to side, while you're maintaining your spinal twist. If you start to feel this in the upper trapezius along the shoulders, you're involving your shoulders, so try to stay out of there. Relax it a little bit, make it a little smaller. Don't do it at all. Slowly unravel, go to the other side of your spine twist. Right hand, left knee, left hand, arm behind you. Finding a spine twist, maintaining that. And then if you'd like to, adding rib cage slide. Slowly unravel. And now we're going to go back onto our back supine for some dead bug variations. Dead bug is actually a classic yoga posture on your back. Your legs are up and this is a variation of it though, for especially for lower back. And cross patterning, lying on your back, the knees are bent and up in tabletop. Your arms are to the sky. So you have a couple choices here. We're going to do a few things. First, you can do just arms. So with your, and if your knees get tired, you can bring your feet down too even. So, but if your knees are up in tabletop, your arms are just going overhead and then back to the sky. One at a time, alternating overhead.
Oh.
And back to the sky. Overhead and back to the sky. And then stop that and then just do your feet. Just do, it's toe taps really. So your arms stay up to the sky. You tap one foot on the floor and bring it back up. And then the other foot, bring it back up. Feel the abdominals having to work here. Toe tap. One more. And then opposite. Bring your legs down to rest for a minute. I'm going to tell you what the next one is like. It's alternating arms and legs. So when you bring your toe tap down with your left leg, you're dropping your right arm overhead. And then you bring everything back up. And then you switch to the other side. So this is a lot of coordination. Take your time. Yeah, take your time. And I'm not going to try to count it with you, because I think everyone's going to be doing it at a little different pace. You might have to start really slowly so that you can remember which side is doing what.
It's like trying to pat your head and rub your stomach.
Yes, it is. Feel the abdominals working. So when one toe taps down, the opposite arm drops back. Just do a couple more of those. If you can't coordinate like that, just go back to all arms or all legs. And then when you're done, stop that. We're going to drop your feet. And now we're going to do revolved abdominals. You can put your arms out in a T and then bring your knees towards your face and then drop your knees and to the right. The hip moves, it moves over. You don't keep your hips on the floor. You don't need to drop all the way down. Keep your arms on the floor, come back to center, and then come back This is the basic revolving abdominals position. Try to keep your knees even if you can. And then just go to the right. The knees go to the right. Come back, and the knees go to the left. Keep the arms on the floor. The knees do not drop all the way to the floor. Bring your knees back slowly so you can feel the abdominals kicking in to work for you. If you want to make it a little harder, take your knees a little farther away at a 90-degree angle instead of a closer angle. And do 2 more of these, 2 more sets. And come on, finish up. Come up to standing. We're going to do one thing standing. It's going to be a flat back hip hinge with a split stance. So I don't think you've ever done this, Kathy, but you're going to face the wall and put one leg on the floor at the wall and one leg behind you. And then from there, you're going to lean forward with a flat back, though. Your arms can go up on the wall to help you. So your forward foot is on the wall and the floor. The heel is on the floor. The toes are on the wall. And then come forward with a flat back. And your arms can be up on the wall. See how far you can come. See how far you can come. With people
standing. If your toes are on the wall, you can't go forward.
Let's see here. The toe, let's see. My toes are up on the bottom of the wall.
Okay.
Just a little bit. But I can't see your toes, so.
Okay, well then I can't go forward if my toes are on the wall. That's why I'm confused.
But you're going to go forward at the hip, you're not going to go forward with your leg. You're going to go forward with your hip. It's a flat back hip hinge, forward. And bend your elbows. So make your stance bigger. Make your stance bigger. There. Now, fold at the hip, come forward, bring your elbows to the wall. Or your arms, whatever's there. Now, try to get a flat back hip hinge. Lift your head a little bit, Kathy. So that, yeah. There, it's like that.
Okay.
There. I hope everyone's finding this. So this is a wide split stance.
Very wide.
Position, very wide for Kathy. And then she's hinging at the hips, which we've been doing lately. This is good really good for the back. Your arms will meet the wall, and then depending on how long your arms are going to be there with elbows bent or straight arms. It just depends to support the flat back. Switch sides. Other leg forward. Hinge at the hip. This is a flat back hip hinge. Your arms will meet the wall, and then you're going to figure out how to have your arms support this flat back hip hinge. Just stay here and breathe. And then slowly come out of this and come down onto the floor for prone back extension. And I'm going to show you, or I'm going to have Kathy show you, because I can't do this and cue it at the same time. So I'm going to show you, or have Kathy show you an alternative to this. So just lie down on the floor. And with your arms behind you, alongside your back, your hips. And I just want to say that if this bothers your lower back, then you either modify it or you do this. You don't lift your chest, just lift your arms. So it's just doing the arms lifting. You should feel the muscles along your erector spinal muscles along the back, even when you're just lifting your arms.
Oh, I feel it. Yeah.
So this is an alternative. Can you see that this actually engages your upper back and it doesn't engage your lower back? So this, I think this is the solution for Dana and anyone else who finds that this position is hurting their lower back. So now go ahead and inhale and we'll come on up into the standard position. Come on up with an exhale and stay here for a little while. And then go ahead and inhale to prepare to come down and then exhale to come down. Take an inhale to come up. And exhale, stay here. Inhale, bring your arms out in a T and exhale, stay here. And inhale and exhale, come on down. We're running a little late, but I want you to be sure and do the thoracic release because this is really good for lower back, for upper back, lower back. So bring your arms out in a T, look to the right. Lift your left leg, look to the right leg up and behind you. Now, why I wanted to be sure to include this, even though we're running a little late, is because I think this has major implications for improving the lower back, for releasing the lower back. Come on back, switch sides. Left leg, up, over. Stay here, breathe, keep your armpits, your arm, your chest on the floor. When your back gets mobile enough, flexible enough, you will actually make a thoracic spinal adjustment with this movement. You don't have to go run to your chiropractor. Just do this. And come on back and find your way onto your back for the final segment of the class, Yoga Nidra, 61-point guided meditation. Find a warm place that feels safe, warm, comfortable. You could put your bent knees back up on a chair or a box or couch. Start by becoming aware of your breath, breathing in and out and noticing how the belly rises and falls with the breath. And then bring your awareness and your attention to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of the pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes the 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs along the floor. Bring your arms overhead. Stretch, wiggle and stretch in all directions. Wiggling your fingers and your toes and rotating your wrists and your ankles one direction and then the other. And then hug your right knee to your chest and your left knee to your chest. Hug both knees to your chest and rock from side to side, releasing the lower back and opening the hips. Whenever you're ready, roll all the way over to one side with your bottom arm as a pillow. And then have your top hand palm on the floor to bring yourself up to seated. Come into a comfortable floor seated position. Unmute yourself. And I will remove Kathy from the spotlight. Start my own video. Gallery view. Good. So bring your hands to your heart. Press your palms together very strongly so that you can feel your shoulders. Give them a little loving attention. Sit tall. And then go ahead and soften the prayer pose. And lift your skull away from your shoulders. Just keep the spine straight and roll the skull over, nodding over the top of the cervical spine, nodding, bowing to each other, acknowledging and honoring the light in each of us, and knowing that we're all one light. We're going to close the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.